Hold me closer, Tony Danza. Coffee.
Did you say Tony Dancer?
What? Shut up, Connor.
Tony Danza.
Tony Danza.
You have no idea what that is, do you?
I know the name.
Go to your room.
Yeah, Connor, I'll do this review video.
You're not
American Horror Story, am I right?
Hello, everyone.
We're literally recording. Hi,
Hello.
everyone. Hello.
Welcome to American Horror Story, Episode 2.
Yeah.
They're literally just called Chapter 2. All of the episodes are just
Oh,
called
they're all
Chapter
called
1, 2, 3,
chapters?
4, 5, 6,
That's-
7, 8, 9, 10.
Maybe they'll switch it up around 3 and you'll look like
Maybe.
Suddenly it's gonna be called Zeplord 15
Zeplord?
and you'll look like
What
a
does
fool.
Zeplord
I
mean?
don't know, it's a new way of counting. Get hip with it.
Anyway.
Get happening.
So, in this
I may have
episode-
lost it in between now and the previous time that we talked. Anyways, hi. So yeah, this is continuing our TV vlog on American Horror Story. So we've got 2 episodes down so far.
And we still know nothing.
And, well, we know that the people can be really stupid.
We have a lot of speculation on stuff.
Yeah, okay, so
But that's about the extent of it.
2 major things happen, and that basically they've pushed forward a few of the history of the place /
Yeah.
potential killers.
We know about the
and
nurses.
people. Yeah, we know what the nurses.
We don't know about anybody else.
And, well, we know there's more things going on to relate to the history of the house.
Right.
And we knew that was going to be generally thing, but we know more about the history itself.
Right.
We know about the guy in the bunker that existed and did weird things. There's something going on. We're getting small little bits and pieces, but
The one
mostly
we have all of the details for almost are the nurses.
assuming he's telling the truth. Which
Right, which
yeah.
again,
So
lots of unreliable narrators happening. this
yeah.
season.
So basically we've thrown in this. It was very jarring seeing it because they have. It's just, everything's been kind of like a rural, kind of very woodsy and creepy and stuff like that. And suddenly, the 2 women we saw in the first episode with walking back down the hallway, apparently they were nurses, and the house used to be a nursing home, and the women slowly killed off their
Murdered
patients.
based on the first letter of their
Yeah,
name.
which
spelling out the word murder on
that
the
is
wall.
that is Batman, 1950s Batman villainy, as far as crazy setup.
I mean,
A lot more murder.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just not gonna lie. It's just wow, that's a stick because they're trying to spell out murder with the names of their victims. So someone with an M name, someone with a U name. Uma I think was the U name
or something like
Something like that.
or
whatever. Anyways, but
That's name.
but they couldn't finish it. So
Something
they didn't
happened
get an
before
R,
they got the last R,
and then they mysteriously
and
disappeared.
they disappeared,
And
and now
which-
they're ghosts. I guess maybe kind of.
Ghosts, or they're flickering through time. There's a few things that I'm.
There's a lot of
uncertain
theories that can happen, but
But again, it comes down to it's hard for me to really guess this because a lot of this is coming down to it could be freaking anything.
it really can.
American
They've
Horror
set
Story
this
does
up
what
to be
American Horror Story pleases.
They've set the season up to have more speculation than any other past season. I
Yeah,
think
because
It's-
it doesn't have a complete root and a theme. Now,
Right.
Roanoke is a specific disaster, but unlike say Carnival or Coven, they're not centered around some kind of idea that they're focusing on. It's not to be just witches or just freak show or whatever. There's a little more to it. So it's more closer to the other ones, how hotels seem to be all over the place because it was more about a place than it was an idea.
There's a place with a bunch of stuff in it.
So I think it's more closer to that, which makes sense.
Roanoke is even more broad than that, though, because it's the entire island.
Well, I mean, it's an island, but it's also more specific in the fact that it's an event.
Right.
It's based around an actual piece of history.
Which,
although what and how much and where.
At
I
this
don't know.
point, my theory is at least that all of the entities that they're interacting with in the house and on the island somehow relate to a curse or a creature or something that happened that exists on Roanoke that makes people disappear and or die or go missing.
Well, yeah, something is dreadfully
travel
wrong with
them
this
through
place.
time or
That's
through another dimension.
that much.
So we were talking about the Lost Colony and how that Roanoke story of all of the settlers vanishing suddenly, spooky. My theory is that at least that is probably going to pop up in the show.
Oh, yeah.
And whatever happened to the Lost Colony also happened to these two nurses. We just need to figure out what that thing is.
As well as the bunker guy.
As well as the bunker guy. And
whoever this little creepy child ghost is.
The child, the pig dude.
Yeah, like, it's all connected somehow. And yeah, no, I'm positive because of the title they're going to bring in the Roanoke disappearance.
We speculated everything from, like, time travel to the Islands of Cthulhu monster to...
I actually kind of like that one.
I do too. Because, it's kind of neat.
Mostly because the reveal would be so amazing. It'd be one of those ways that they can really push their special effects budget.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of very wonderful visuals, and having the last visual be basically just a giant like Cthulhuan monster rising up from the depths kind of thing.
Which we were also talking about, like, if they maybe ditch the documentary style like halfway through.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan Murphy, I think his last name is Murphy. I think so. But, like, I'm getting the thumbs up from Cooper. Ryan Murphy, the co-creator of the show, said somewhere around episode 6, something's gonna happen, and it's all gonna change, and some weird. What you think is happening is not happening. I don't know what he means.
I mean,
but. Holy fuck!
On one hand, I'm like, well, duh, yeah, of course you're gonna do that. So on the second hand, what? I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't.
He described it as if, like, episodes 1 through 5 are one show, and 6 through 10 are, like, a different thing.
Alright. Well, I mean, I can't really speak for what's going to happen by the simple fact that I haven't seen it yet. This episode 3 will be coming.
Yeah.
So, we're barely in. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Depending on how they're linked, it's one of those things where if it's
I don't
a
think
jarring
they mean
shift, well, I mean,
we're gonna end at episode 5 and then go to another.
They're
show.
not doing 2 small seasons completely separate.
Right. I think they're connected, but like something happens.
Like 2 sides of the same coin.
Right. Like just something happens that like now the whole show changes.
Well, I mean, and that I think is something that needs to happen anyways because the documentary style is really limiting, and at the moment, like I said. Given what we've seen, we know a few things, and that's always kind of debilitating for horror. Is when you know at least anything of what's going to happen, it has a less horrific effect when it does happen.
You're talking about just the idea that
the fact that we don't know that they die, kind of thing.
We kind of know they survived because they're giving the interview.
So as well as the fact, I mean, then the way it's also edited and stuff, like we also know that there's not going to be anything horribly drastically changing to the characters as is. I mean, like I said, the girl went missing the other time. The way they reacted, like it was obviously they were calling a traumatic event, but I don't think they would. If this was a straight faced documentary, I don't think they would put that on there if the girl had died, or at the very least, like if something like supernaturally horrible had happened to the girl, whatever. I mean, at the very least, it's a less of a chance with the current documentary style. So they need to overthrow that and mess it up somehow. I do like Jake's theory that he was talking about during the stream of the idea that, I think it was Jake and you, and you eventually talked about it, of the idea that eventually the documentary is going to tear away from what's actually happening. So on the documentary side, they'll say something, and then the reenactment will be entirely different. Like, like we didn't dare go out of the house, kind of thing. And then the next scene, they're walking out of the house.
They're walking out of the house. That would be interesting.
To suddenly just throw off the fact that the documentary is absolute shit.
Because there's still an era, and we were talking about it during the stream, that these characters and giving us the interviews could be completely full of shit. Well, they could straight up just be lying to us, and the reenactment could also equally be lying to us.
They wouldn't lie.
Because I pointed out a moment where, like, a girl said something, she said she did one thing, and then the reenactment happens, and she does 20 things.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
And I'm like, so I feel like at least some of it is exaggerated in the reenactment, if it's not all a lie to begin with.
I mean, and that's certainly possible, though I also see it as something that's very common in movies that use narration,
Mhm.
in that they narrate the beginning of something and then
Right.
finish the action in action. I've seen documentaries do that too.
No, I agree.
So it wouldn't be implausible, but it's definitely something to keep an eye out because we know
it's
they have
something to watch for.
they only have to tear out the documentary eventually because if
Right.
they keep that all the way through at the end without messing with it somehow, it's going to keep it kind of stiff and constrained. And especially if they're going to do a radical change on episode 6.
What if like the reenactments and like the interviews catch up to where the interviews
Present
are
day.
happening, present day, and then they go on from there as like
Fair
a
enough.
we're going back to the island sort of deal.
Well, yeah, I don't actually know.
As like with an investigation team maybe. Or
Yeah,
something.
well, possibly they bring in the professionals,
Right.
and that's where they get the rest of the cast. Kind of. I mean, that's certainly a possible. Like
the first half of the show is all the backstory, and then
yeah,
the
and
actual
then the
investigation.
second half is Blair Witch Project,
Right,
where they're
exactly.
running through the woods, going, "What's going on?"
I'm so scared.
Please, no found footage. I mean,
Yeah.
or at the very least, nothing for too long. I'm fine with bits and pieces, and if they're watching a film, that's one thing. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely the case. I actually don't know where they're being interviewed. Like, did
Yeah.
they go back to LA? We have no
We have
idea
no
where they
idea.
are. So they could be literally like right out. Like they could be in Raleigh. They could
Yeah.
just be right in North Carolina, just a short drive from the house, which could also lead to the idea that if like the very like episode 5 we see like this is getting worse, it's spreading and like going over the island, and they retreat to the mainland or whatever, and someone catches up and do the interview while they're they're like I think we're safe or whatever, and then it crawls into the interview. So like halfway through the documentary, like horrible things start happening in the background. Like that could be a lot of fun. There's obviously a lot of ways to go with it. I'm curious to see what the pig man's gonna do. Like
Yeah.
he's one of those creepy monsters, but he feels like an actual monster. I have a feeling he's going to be very sympathetic, similar to how the no-jawed clown turned out to be.
Yeah.
And that he's not going to be like a twisted, creepy, evil monster. He's just going to be, honestly, he's probably going to be someone who's been tortured and had the pig head sewed onto him.
Yeah. Kind of like the Minotaur in Coven.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's definitely, I definitely think he's going to be more sympathetic. The little creepy little girl ghost. I mean, creepy little girl ghost. Just nah. They're always just like, this is not. And I have to admit, they've amped up the tropes in episode 2, to the point where the people are doing stupid things that are not the best way to survive kind of deal. Like they're not stopping and thinking; they're acting blindly and stumbling upon some stupid stuff. Like let's stay in the creepy kill house, which is fine for the story, but then it's like it makes me question, given the fact that American Horror Story has some very good writing. They're doing this on purpose. And I hope it's not they're doing it on purpose to keep the story moving, but doing it on purpose to make us realize this may be not as real as we think it is, or something of that sort. So yeah, I think documentary's a hoax, and the second half would be very much about the true evil kind of spreading out much more of a real world kind of setting, where instead of this reenactment kind of style, it's going to be actually physically happening, and it might even get even more darker and twisted. So instead of just like creepy things or dead pigs in the door, it'll be like misshapen monsters and cult, actual more intense cult killings. They burned a guy alive, so I guess it's pretty intense.
The episode also leaves off with the sister's daughter basically running away,
Yeah.
and we see her hoodie up in the very top of the tree without her anywhere.
Yeah, which is we
it's
put
an
probably
interesting-
way too much speculation into that at the end.
We spent like
At the end of the stream.
half an hour just thinking about what the fuck that means.
I mean, I got to the point where I was like, guys, I'm pretty sure it's just a freaking jacket in the tree, guys. No, it's a tongue.
No, the tree is a tongue. It's a tentacle.
Bruh.
It's gonna go like wash it, and it's gonna grab somebody.
What should it do?
Wash it.
That's-
It's gonna make that exact noise.
It's our sound effects guy. Alright. So yeah.
We were talking about it for so long, but like the interesting thing about it is that daughter's not there. It's just her jacket, and it's way fucking up high in the tree.
High in the sky. Yeah, no. They made a point to show that the tree is really tall, like
It's super
redwood tall.
Yeah.
Although it's still regular tree size. So
It's also like a dead tree. There's
nothing
it's growing.
dead.
On it. It's dead as shit. It's like the one dead tree in the entire forest.
Yes, it's obvious that there's significance to the tree.
Right.
I just don't know what that significance may be.
So I'm thinking that whatever happened to the lost colonists and these nurses and this investigator dude probably happened to this little girl. I don't know how her jacket got in the tree as a result of that. Maybe she was abducted by aliens.
Yeah, like if it's abduction by
know.
aliens, then the whole getting caught on the tree could certainly work. But I don't know, the fact that the tree stands out so much, and the way the shot was done, it made you really focus on the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think the tree has something to do with it, and I think it's very much a supernatural.
You think it's like a tentacle?
I don't think so much. I mean, there was that idea of it being like one of the tentacles. If the island's a Cthulhu
If the
monster,
island's like a Cthulhu monster, it's like a tentacle that looks like a tree, and it just goes like wachata, and like grabs people.
Your sound effects, man, just glorious. Which is possible.
So like it's just like it's such a cliffhanger, and we could fucking talk about it. We literally spent like an hour talking about it.
If you want to see all of our crazy ramblings, go back to the stream.
Oh.
It's special.
It's wonderful.
We went hardcore on that.
Alright.
Alright, but anyways, so episode 2, interesting developments.
It was
But still,
definitely
we
a
have
lot,
no
it was,
fucking clue.
It was a
what's
lot
going on.
creepier than the first one.
Yeah, no,
the
they
first
amped it up.
first one had a couple good scares. This one was like, we're getting creepy now.
Yeah.
Things are weird.
Yep. Burger, red rum.
So yeah, red rum.
Yeah.
That is the end
Alright.
of I think we've covered pretty much.
Yeah, I think we covered all we can
all
do,
the
because at
main
this point
points.
it's just speculation.
Yeah.
So
we
if
gotta
you
wait
have
to
any
get more answers.
speculation yourself, please put it down in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and all that jazz. If you like this, join us for a live stream every Wednesday, as the show premieres.
As the show happens.
We'll
You
be
can watch
there.
it with
you can
us.
watch it with us. Not actually watching the episode on our channel, but we'll watch the episode so we can watch it with you.
We have to
There's
clarify
been a
all
lot
the
of
time.
thing. Yeah, we're not a free illegal streaming site.
Our live streams are us watching the show and you guys watching it with us, and we have like a discussion.
We're extra
and you see our
commentary
reactions.
during the commercial break.
Right, pretty much.
Think of it that way. All right. Anyways, so thank you so much for time and effort. We hope to see more of this, and I'm really curious where this goes. So.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. All right. Thank you very much. Till next time. Farewell.
What?
I don't know. You're jingling now.